This video is covering the turn 6 of the 7 Years World War from Strategy and Tactics 221. And this turn represents the years 1761 and 1762. So I'm just giving an overview before we go down to the map of the treasury phases. So it starts with England, Prussia, and Netherlands. They, of course, collect their tax revenue, but they also have revenue from the colonial trade route and the East Indies trade route. And they have a collection of campaign chits. They have an admiral, 2 generals, and they use their money to recruit an army to build 2 fortified zones in the 13 colonies, a fortified zone in Ireland, fortresses in Brazil, and this is all opening up to be a good turn, perhaps, for the first player. The second player is France, Spain, and India. They collect taxes. They have the Antilles trade route, so they get some funds from that. Spain builds a new fleet, which they needed after last turn, and the Indian Confederacy constructs a fortress in Bengal to protect it. They also play the balance of power chit, which goes against the initiative player. This is England, Prussia, and Netherlands. And as a result, they lose 4 campaign chits. And one of the chits that they lose is the Admiral chit. So I'm going to just assume that Admiral Byng is court-martialed and possibly executed. Who knows? But the chit's gone. Then we go to Austria and Russia. They collect taxes, and I guess I haven't mentioned this before, but there is a table in this game where you can attempt to raise taxes. I generally don't do this because there's a chance at triggering a rebellion, which kind of can blow the turn for you. So anyway, that could be done, but it isn't done here. Austria builds 2 armies, Russia builds an army, and they build some fortresses in the German states to protect that. And then the fourth player is Manchu and the Ottoman Empire. So the Ottomans build 2 fortified zones in Persia, which it's now occupying, and the Manchu Empire constructs a fleet as well as 2 hordes. So as we go into the player turns, we'll start taking a look at some of the map photographs that I have. So the initiative player is England, Prussia, and Netherlands. And the English start with playing a diplomacy chit. See, the Prime Minister Pitt plays a 3 diplomat chit. However, he gets a negative reaction out of this. So the other powers get to choose a free campaign chit. So that didn't work out very well at all. The English fleet was set sail to Bermuda, where it sets up a blockade of the French trade route there. Another fleet goes to the 13 colonies and anchors in port as a defensive measure. A third fleet, which you can see in the map, sets sail and anchors in the Barbary States. And that's going to shut down the West Indies trade route. So that's why they're doing that. The Prussians don't do anything in Europe. The Dutch are also quiet. So we go on to the French portion of the turn. The French Navy decides to sail to the Canary Islands and engage the British fleet on the Barbary coast. So there's a massive battle there, and the British Navy ends up annihilated. And this allows the French to choose some random campaign chits from the British player, and it turns out the Brits lose both of their leader chits. There are no further actions for France, Spain, and India. Now we go to the third player, Austria and Russia. So the Austrians attempt some diplomatic action, speaking lies across the tables to try to hurt England, but they get a fairly weak result from this. So they choose espionage. And in this case, it allows them to examine the British treasury just to find out what's in there. And it turns out it has 69 treasury points, so seems quite luxurious to the Austrians and the Russians. Then if the Austrians decide to launch an attack against the Ottoman Empire's forces in the Balkans. You can see that in the picture here on the map. And the Ottoman forces are annihilated here, and the capital is captured. One of the dangers of capturing a major power's capital is the revolution chit. If the revolution chit is drawn, it must be played. And that one of the effects is that all the players have to return their campaign chits to the pool. So you hope things like that don't happen. Also on this turn, the Russians decide to launch a campaign against Prussia. And the Russians have an advantage here because they have a 3-rated general to use. As a result of the battle, the defender withdraws, and the Prussians have to fall back. They do fall back in good order, but General Saltykov marches the Russian army into Poland, and that brings an end to the Austria-Russia turn. We now go to the Manchu and Ottoman empires, the Fourth Coalition. You can see in this next picture, this is one of the first ones I think I've put on here of the Manchu dynasty. And here they have advanced their forces into Korea, where they take control of the country. And then again, Manchu decides to launch an attack against Japan. And the Manchu fleets have an admiral with them, as you can see in the picture. However, the campaign ends in defeat again, and the Manchu player has to lose a campaign chit. And the Ottoman part of this player decides not to do anything. They're paralyzed from the earlier turns. But that brings turn number 6 of this game to a conclusion, the years 1761 and 1762. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Trucking